Have you ever wished for a manual for life? Like a real guide to navigating all the biggest challenges? Well, today we're diving into an ancient text that claims to be exactly that.
Just think about this for a second. What if every major mistake you could possibly make, in your job, in your relationships? But what if it's all already been analyzed, documented, and pretty much solved, and not in some dense, dusty philosophy book, but through really simple stories about animals?
Well, that's the Panchatantra for you. It's this ancient Indian collection of fables that, on the surface, looks simple, but it's secretly one of the most sophisticated instruction manuals ever created for just navigating the world.
But here's the thing, and this is the key that almost everyone misses. To really unlock its power, you can't just read the fables. The real genius, the real magic, isn't in the stories themselves, it's in their deliberate, methodical structure. And the first clue is right there in the name. Panchatantra literally translates to the 5 treatises. See, it was never meant to be just a random pile of stories. It's a system, and it's purposefully divided into 5 books. These 5 books, they're not just chapters. They form a complete roadmap for dealing with life's big complexities. Each one tackles a fundamental challenge we all face, from our relationships and conflicts to success and making decisions. So let's break them down. We have to start with the first, and maybe the most foundational part, Mitra Beta, which means the loss of friends.
This book is just this incredible deep dive into how the strongest bonds, friendships, partnerships completely fall apart. Think about a startup that implodes. It's usually not because of the competition, right? It's because the co-founders just can't trust each other anymore. The Panchatantra says this is the most common way things fail. The damage almost always comes from the inside.
Okay, so after showing us how relationships break, the Panchatantra then teaches us how to build them. And that brings us to the second treatise, Mitra Labha, or the gaining of friends.
So if the first book is a warning, this one is a guide. It's all about the art of creating strong alliances, of earning, and just as importantly, maintaining trust. It really hammers home this core principle. True, lasting success. You don't win that alone. It's built on a foundation of cooperation.
So once you've figured out your inner circle, what about the outside world? What about your rivals? Well, that's where the third book comes in, moving from alliances to adversaries. This is Kakalukium, the War of Crows and Owls.
Now, don't let the name fool you. This isn't just a simple fable. It's a total masterclass in strategy. It lays out all the unwritten rules for dealing with your rivals, and it teaches a lesson that is absolutely vital for any leader, knowing when to fight, when to hold back, and crucially, when to use your intelligence instead of just brute strength.
The fourth treatise. This one tackles a problem that feels incredibly modern. It's called Labdha Pranasham, the loss of gains. And this isn't about the struggle to succeed. It's about the much more common problem of what happens after you've already made it. This book is all about the psychology of self-sabotage. It explains how easily carelessness or arrogance or just one single bad decision can completely undo years of hard work. It's not just about winning, it's about not losing what you've already won.
And all of this, your alliances, your strategy, your success, it can all be undone by one thing. And that brings us to the final, really powerful warning of the 5th book, Aparikshitakarakam, or ill-considered action.
This is all about the catastrophic danger of just acting without thinking. It details the consequences of impulsive choices and poor judgment, and it just drives home the point that one rash act can absolutely destroy what took a lifetime to build.
And the parallels to our world today are just striking. The loss of friends isn't just a story about animals, it's literally the blueprint for a failed business partnership. The War of Crows and Owls, that's just another name for office politics. And the loss of gains is the story of every single market bubble that bursts.
So what is this ancient text really about when you boil it all down? It's about 5 timeless pillars: relationships, trust, strategy, success, and right at the heart of it all, decision-making.
These aren't ancient problems. They are human problems. The technology changes, the scenery changes, but the fundamental challenges of working with other people, those do not. And that is the enduring power of the Panchatantra.
And that's really our goal with this series, to unpack these stories not as simple kids' fables, but as what they were always meant to be, practical guides for strategy, for psychology, and for making better decisions in our own lives.
Because, look, the aim isn't to create some perfect life where you never make a mistake. It's to understand the deep, fundamental patterns of human nature so you can navigate the mistakes that are just inevitable. Because understanding them is so much more important than trying to avoid them.
So next time, we're going right back to the very beginning. We're going to tackle the single most important story in the entire system, the lion and the bull. It's the key that unlocks everything else, and it's where our deep dive begins. You won't want to miss it.